I'm about to go up against. Who I'm about to go up against? I'll never forget that. That little party I went to, Diddy party. We went to the little private area behind the, cause he had a house behind his house. Like he had a backyard with his backyard with a fat bed, and then it had like a miniature or whatever.
Y'all, they don't woke up the beast Chrisean, and she is out for blood, but this time she has her eyes set on none other than Miss Yung Miami. See, recent revelations showed how Yung Miami was allegedly trying to set Chan up and recruit her to be an ex-worker for Diddy. Y'all know how Diddy and Miami were showing Chan all that love a while back. Well, it appears to be a part of their larger ploy, and listen, let me tell y'all that Chan is furious as wild aces. She is still not about that type of lifestyle. She has vowed to jump Yung Miami whenever she Southeast need her on site. And y'all know that Chan is not afraid to throw hands, so Yung Miami might need to watch her back, because Chan is not here to play. Was Miami really trying to get Chrisean into a freak-off thinking it was going to be a vibe all the time? Well, Miss Yung Miami did not get the update that Chan is not the kind of person that you want to mess with.
Diddy jacked your up that day when we was at the party. He grabbed Lemmy by his collar. It was like, don't ever play with that girl ever again. Talking about me, like, don't ever play with her.
Because Chan just dared Miami to pull up on her, and things are about to get messy if she do. Now we know that Yung Miami likes to talk all that talk, but let me see if she could walk, cause acting all that tough, if we're being real, she just doesn't stand a chance against Gran, and a fight, cause we've seen Chrisean fighting everybody in their mama. But hold up, let's rewind a little bit, because the idea of Yung Miami and Chan fighting might be a little too crazy, so let me break it down. The reason that Chan is allegedly threatening to fight Miami is that she recently put 2 and 2 together and realized that Yung Miami was allegedly trying to pimp her out to Diddy. Now, one thing about Chrisean is that she has been through a whole lot in this industry, between getting into fights with her baby daddy Blueface, giving birth on Instagram Lev, and a whole lot of other shenanigans that I can't even start to get into, cause Chan has done it all. The one thing about her is that she has a lot of fans, and in return that gets her into a lot of rooms in the industry. I mean, we've seen Chan roll with a lot of celebrities like Drake, Tamar, and Tony Braxton, Lil Baby, and now even Diddy. Now, between Chrisean and Blueface acting out, most of these meetings often go wrong. But hey, at least other CBS want to hang out with her. But that's why it wasn't so surprising that we saw her at Diddy's parties last year. There's this interaction action between her and Diddy that seemed kind of weird, because it was like he was trying to kiss her, and she looked super uncomfortable with it. However, she clearly had a blast at the event, cause she and Yung Miami were dancing all over. But then again, Chrisean is known for her wild party lifestyle, so it wasn't all that surprising that she was at the party turning up, especially because Diddy was known to throw some of the biggest and wildest parties in Hollywood. But of course, this was before the lawsuit. Brought against him by Cassie L. Rod and those 3 other women. Now, at the time, we thought that Diddy parties were just wild, but the worst thing we thought about the parties was that there were alleged orgies, a lot of drinking, and maybe some gay activities here and there, but nothing like these crazy details that we've been finding out these past couple of weeks. But these lawsuits, for a quick recap, Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy in February took things from bad to worse, because he really took a deep dive into Diddy's parties and what went on behind the scenes, and y'all, it was real bad. He talked about Diddy's parties, claiming that the parties were filled with young girls who were below the legal age of consent, if you know what I mean. He also claimed that Diddy allegedly drugged and sexually molested Cassie. Cassie exposed Diddy for hosting freak-off parties where he would force her to hire male ex-workers and then get off on it women at these events, saying that Miami supposedly assisted her cousin in sabotaging him as well. He wrote that Mr. Coles was drunk and tried to sell Mr. Jones cocaine. Mr. Jones turned him down and walked to the bathroom, whereupon Yung Miami's cousin stormed in and started groping him. Mr. Jones thinks that Mr. Combs sent her in there to SAA. Mr. Jones, as she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral action while Mr. Jones's exposed private Mr. Jones pushed her away and exited the bathroom. It continued. Young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones's rejection as she proceeded to follow Mr. Jones out of the bathroom. She started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have intimacy with him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. Now, of course, Young Miami was also present at this party, and according to Little Rod, she did nothing and said nothing. Instead, she watched while her cousin tried to stab another person and did nothing about it. But that's not all, y'all, because Lil Rod also had more documents where he really went in on Young Miami. Think the mother was trying to recruit her cousin. Remember, they just had her pulling up to everything she about. Yeah, remember, see what I'm saying? We this podcast, G&A, because y'all know the mama know everything, everybody business. So we going to find out on this podcast. We ain't going to talk ___ about nobody. We ain't going to mock nobody, but we definitely going to explore the possibilities that was going on, cause they kept calling her. Remember, pull up to the birthday party, come over here and dance on Karlissa. Remember that I feel like they was trying to recruit that baby. Now at first we thought that Karis was just chasing clout again as usual, but fans started to put 2 and 2 together and the math was kind of mathing. I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was a time when Diddy was acting all nice to Chrisean, inviting her to his events and was all buddy-buddy with her. Diddy showed her so much love that according to Chrisean herself, it made Blueface so jealous that he threw her out of his house. She tweeted, "Let me name a list of artists and important people you got mad at me for them showing interest or love. My fans already got the receipts. Drake, cuz he followed me. Diddy, cuz at his party he gave me my flowers and my stuff was thrown outside." That's not all, because there's also this video where Chan was talking about how she had issues with Lemuel Plummer, who is the producer of Bad, as well as the CEO of Zeus Network. She claimed that he didn't want to pay her what she deserved. When Diddy heard about it during one of his parties, he threatened, "I'll jack you up." That day when we was at the party, he grabbed like her. It was like, "Don't ever play with that girl ever again," talking about me like, "Don't ever play with her." Like no, you would play with their budget, play with talent. Y'all playing with me, like I will never forget that. ___ day bro. So I said a price, you said 100, but I said 200,000. I said 150, and I'm not going below that, because although it was admirable that Diddy stood up for Chan and assisted her in improving her negotiations, it wasn't exactly a selfless act. Rather, Chan felt safer around him because, as she now claims, Diddy took his sweet time to ensure that she was comfortable and safe enough before making his move. According to a source close to Chan, now that the truth is out in the open, Brand is starting to piece things together and realizes that Young Miami was attempting to trick her. According to The Insider, Chan had her doubts when Young Miami first became very amiable, but she dismissed them as Miami expressing her love. Now that the truth is known, however, Chrisean is enraged and has vowed to meet Miami at first sight. The Insider went on to say that Miami needs to keep an eye on her because whenever Chan sees her, people will be talking about it on social media. As we all know, people have been saying things like, "It's absolutely unbelievable to me that Diddy would be giving Chan flowers." So recruiting sounds more like those industry mob opponents about to pimp Chan harder than Blueface was. And people are cheering this on what is Diddy's old self giving her kisses and flowers for like she's a legend. They souping her up, so she'll be loyal to them like she was to Blue. They recognize Chan's Stockholm Syndrome, so it doesn't seem too far-fetched.